The amount of times that my phone has miswritten Lumberg as different things.
real?
Oh my god. It was so desperate to turn it into a Lamborghini, like
Bill Lamborghini.
every time, which is a great name, by the way.
Yeah.
Bill Lamborghini. I don't trust him as a man,
No.
but that's a great name.
He'd be like the worst rapper in the rap crew.
Yeah. He would. He would.
Yeah. People be like, this song's great, even with a Bill Lamborghini verse on it.
Yeah, he hangs out to like the fourth verse. If your song has a fourth verse, he's there, you know? That's the only time he's allowed to get on the mic.
Yeah. Often some songs fade out like weirdly in the middle of the third chorus, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so they had to cut out the Bill Lamborghini verse.
Yeah, he was just getting started and he's fading out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just hangs out at the studio, and when he hears a verse, like a song getting a little longer, he's like, ooh, time for Bill?
Time for Bill.
He has keys to every studio.
Oh no. That's a secret. Keys
Yeah.
to every studio and every Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Shout outs to you,
I
Bill.
trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? You shouldn't.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Sync Floyd, the podcast where we watch every movie ever made to see if it syncs up to Pink Floyd's 1973 magnum opus, The Dark Side of the Moon. My name is Gareth Blackler, and I'm your senior synergy analyst around these parts. And if you just follow me through these cubicles here, you're going to meet your supervisor in your syncs. It's James Barron.
Hi, James Barron, Sync Supervisor here at the office of Sync Floyd. How's it going? We're ready to talk about the office dynamics of our podcast, Gareth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also the movie Office Space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Office Space's performance review. It's been, it's been a film for about 21 years, 22 years.
Yeah.
It's been doing, we're very happy with its work, but we do need to, see how it's syncing up with Pink Floyd's album.
Yeah, man. I feel like a lot of our podcast is reviewing how well films hold up now.
Yeah.
Like,
Because they decided to stop holding up.
yeah. And this film is no exception, really. But we'll get into it as we break down the film. But yeah, have you seen Office Space? Have you seen it before today, or?
I saw it when I worked in my very first office.
Oh wow!
And it was very good to suddenly realize oh, this stuff is happening to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I watched it, this is so specific, but I watched it just before daylight savings started, meaning suddenly it was lighter and a weird sleepy energy around the office.
Yeah.
And it was really, it felt like I was the character in Office Space. I just had this greater peace on me and kind of could see everything for how it was.
Yeah, man.
And it was very nice. And then I got used to daylight savings and that ended.
Oh, well. It's nice for a time, though. I like that good
Yeah.
energy to daylight savings. Whenever that hits me, I'm just like a groggy mess. That's no good. I take it very poorly. So I'm glad that it's positive for you. Oh,
No,
man.
it's a weird one. I find this, we're in, April now.
Yeah.
I think it's May when you hear this, but this daylight savings is the tough one because it's dark. It's, you need to go to bed earlier. You kind of realize you're in your office for most of the daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, the daylight has not been saved, if you ask me.
No, we're not using it for fucking anything, that's for sure. We are slaving away in offices. That's the real truth of the matter,
Yeah.
Yeah. I chose this film because I've just started a new job and I'm in an office again, and it just reminded me. It all came flooding back to me,
Oh, wow.
all the officey stuff. This movie paints office life in a really bad light, but I really love having office jobs, so it was kind of interesting.
Tell us about it. What's your favorite part about an office job?
Oh man, I just it's definitely not the bad things that this movie talks about, all the just minutiae of the office where all the people are very fake and things like that. In my experience, office jobs are not like that so much. I just I don't know. It's going in and doing doing a job and like hanging out with a bunch of people. You get to talk to people, and you're not like required to like, I don't know. You're not required to like have a spiel or like a uniform. Really, you can just wear
Yeah.
like kind of whatever. Yeah, I think it's like one of the cushier jobs out there, but like job varietals, but it does come
Mm.
with its fair share of downsides, as we'll see when in the movie. But I
Yeah.
personally like office jobs, so
I will say of the jobs I've had, and I'm worried I'm going to accidentally complain about a job I've had and
oh
like
no,
ruin my future career on mic. But like of the ones I've had, the ones where there's been more kind of office, like bureaucracy and like meetings about strategies and
mm,
like catchphrases and stuff, those jobs have been, very secure, very like
yeah,
positive. Like you feel yeah, you feel safer, you feel like less stressed. And I think in that regard, yeah, the weird office cult we've all decided on is quite nice.
yeah, true. It totally is a
Yeah.
cult, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
it's so weird. Like all this stuff has just been put together in such a way that everyone needs to manage everything and account
Yeah.
for everything, and therefore basically any kind of operation, any kind of function of being a human, there's an office behind how that runs. Like,
Whoa.
like it's pretty wild to think about that,
Yeah.
but that is definitely the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. I did like I think it was an XKCD comic from years and years ago points out that like everything you see in the world probably had someone frustrated making it. So it's also
Probably.
good to know that everything you see in the world it probably had a long like email chain and a
Yeah.
weird micromanagery boss and all this stuff behind it.
In a way that's reassuring about modern society that that's the case. We've reached this point
Yeah.
of efficiency where we can employ so many people to do this exact thing, to like
Yeah.
help life happen, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man. Ah.
Very
But see,
heady.
we're loving offices apparently. I didn't know that
Yeah.
about myself until I started. But like, yeah, this movie
Yeah.
written well, like one of the rare kind of Hollywood because Mike Judge has been the director has
Yeah.
been like a comedy kind of guy for years, but he also was a software engineer first.
All right.
So
That
he
makes sense.
saw a lot of what office life was like, especially the
Mm.
kind of one he's writing about. So like it was very at the time incredibly like it was probably like how we now just have memes. We're like, oh yeah, life is easy to sum up in fun jokes.
Yeah.
For those people in the 90s, I assume I sound so young. Those people in the 90s were probably like, whoa, I'm not like alone in this world. I have like
Yeah.
a movie finds the things I find annoying.
Yeah. That is definitely the catharsis of Office Space, in that it like
Yeah.
takes all of the things that people hate about jobs, or like not just office jobs, but like also like front of house kind of
Yeah.
service industry kind of things, and like puts them all on display, and like kind of destroys that, or like says like this movie is saying, yeah man, that sucks. Like
Yeah.
it's fine to like not enjoy those parts of your life, or it sort of relishes
Yeah.
in that, which is cool, and like focuses on enjoying like the small parts of life, like
Mm.
outside of your job, like, and that's the lesson here,
Yeah, for sure.
if we're moralizing again on the pod, but yeah, it's like, yeah, find the thing that makes you happy in life.
Yeah. Well, this is like, it's wild that this is the message of this film, and it's the message we accidentally found in Ferris Bueller,
Yeah,
which is both like, you don't have to be, classically successful to be happy. You should just be happy in your work,
pretty
which is
much.
very upsetting because that was in Latin our high school's motto.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
man,
and opere felicitas meant be happy in your work.
man, I completely forgot that. Dang.
Yeah. Isn't that worrying though that it's taken us, what, like 12 years to actually learn
We've
that?
finally figured it out. They shouldn't have put it in Latin. That was the real problem.
Yeah.
They didn't teach us Latin at school. Like, how are we going to
Exactly.
figure that one out?
Yeah.
What? I'm not going to pay attention in assembly. That is just not
No.
going to happen, So when they're talking about all this stuff and the three-legged stool and all the moralizing that they do. It's amazing that anyone
Yeah.
listens to us since we do so much moralizing, but
Yeah.
like yeah, like in high school I'm not going to be paying attention to that. No way.
No.
But hey, we
High
learned
school
the lesson.
assembly is to set you up for an office. Like,
Wow.
empty catchphrases, empty listening. Like,
It's
it's perfect for it.
it's definitely setting you up for like board meetings, I think. Like
Yeah.
or just yeah, meetings in general, I think. And
Yeah.
that you get everyone is there and they have to talk about a certain level of information and there are definitely going to be people that don't want to be there.
Yeah.
That's just how it is, you know? Like sometimes you just need to get people in a room and talk to them and explain something rather than sending out a mass email, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it goes.
So it goes. Should we get into how this will sync up with our friends in Pink Floyd?
And
We're
Sync
our friends
Floyd?
in Sync Floyd.
Yeah. There's just us here, man. There is no other
Yeah.
friends at the moment. No guest
Oh.
stars that I'm aware of, but maybe over the course of the pod we'll find some.
Yeah, well, actually, I've got a guest star here. It's Stephen Root, who played Milton, but I forgot to give him a microphone,
Yeah, he's just gonna
so
be
you can't hear him at all.
lightly mumbling in the background.
Yeah,
And
it's mumbling too quiet.
yeah, he's doing a lot of complaining, but no one's paying attention to that, so
Yeah.
don't worry about it. All right, let's
I
dive.
don't know why we invited him in. He's hating on this podcast.
That's all right. No one. It doesn't matter. He'll figure it out by the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it, man. Let's go dive
All
right in. Yeah. Opening titles and the Heartbeats, which is my new band that I'm starting.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And this week I decided to change things up a little bit just for me, in that instead of doing a regular watch, I did everything normal, so don't freak out. But
Okay.
I decided to blast the Floyd into my
Oh.
into my ear holes. I cranked it this week. It was just
Oh.
real loud. I don't really know why I did, but this time usually my computer headphone would be on. My my Netflix headphone would be on 20-ish, and this week it was
Yeah.
like upwards of 40, 50. So we're
Whoa.
double volume. The Floyd boys
Ah.
are loud and personal in my head. They are right next to me. So there you go.
I'm fascinated in the difference it's going to make.
Okay.
It's so strange.
It's very strange, but probably not a huge amount of difference. But I just wanted to see how it felt
Yeah.
to just be front row for Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So movie starts with bumper to bumper traffic. Another thing that people complain about constantly, it's setting the tone for a relatable protagonist in shit situations, with our boy Peter here. I feel like it's suiting Breathe kind of well. I don't know why. It's just I would enjoy listening to Breathe while commuting to work if I didn't do this show. But
it's definitely the bumper to bumper break stop break stop is very much, it's in time with the old Speak to Me kind of rhythm.
Yeah,
and so you feel like the way he feels when he switches a lane when the Breathe guitars kick in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
real
the only
nice.
way it would sync better is if it did then immediately stop playing Breathe and started over again every couple seconds.
That would be very useful. But sadly, no. The album has places to be. But yeah, it's like Murphy's Law is kind of applying to our character here, in that he's switching lanes between and then the lane that he just left starts free flowing of traffic. Oh, it's a bleak outlook. And there's a old man walking on by with his walker, outpacing the cars. It's very good. We also see Michael and Smear on their way to work as well. Michael is just rapping his ass off in his car, which is massively relatable to me.
Yeah.
It's very good. A lot of good rap music in this.
Yeah,
classic
absolutely.
rap tunes.
Yeah.
As the soundtrack to this movie that we are not going to be hearing, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it uses it, I think, like, I don't know how many films were doing this in the 90s, but, like, the the idea of contrasting, like, banal office life
Mm,
with, like, 90s hip hop as well, which was very, like, about authenticity and, like, living,
yeah.
like, on the street and finding the best in it. And then to show it with these mundane, like, broken office guys, like,
Yeah.
really new, a little problematic. But the film also addresses it immediately by having Michael see a guy,
Yes.
an African American guy selling flowers and lock his windows or
Yeah.
lock his doors.
Just showing like the hypocrisy of that, like,
Yeah,
and that he
exactly.
loves this music, but like doesn't want to mess with any of the real stuff that it's talking about, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah. There you go.
much like popular culture does indeed.
Oh shit. Get
Oh yeah.
roasted. Real life people of the world.
Man, real life, get out of here.
Get out of here. Let's talk about films.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, but they're rocking up to their jobs at Innotech, which is like a generic Enron-esque office place where people work. There's even like a giant abstract art piece out the front. It's just
Yeah.
like random geometric shapes like mashed together, which is just so
Oh,
like typical office stuff.
yeah,
I
they
really,
love those kind of things.
yeah, I really wish we saw more of the like corporate logo and letterhead and stuff like that, because that stuff fascinates me. Like the design surrounding really like boring office spaces, and like I've got an accounting degree, so I see this kind of stuff a lot where
Yeah.
people have to like convey visually what a company does,
Yeah.
and they are clearly struggling. It's like
Yeah.
there is definitely a spectrum of bad corporate logos, but
Oh, for sure. I've been lucky enough to see a few like corporate brand guidelines, and when they have to tie it in with the spirit and make
oh
it
my
because
god,
no one wants to look corporate,
no,
so like they have to try to make it look as fun as possible, and it's always the exact same two public domain images that are out there. There's a guy lying on his couch with his phone, looking up, smiling,
yeah,
and it's a sunny day, and then there's a man in a boardroom with a big beard wearing a cap looking at his phone. I've seen so many New Zealand companies use those two images.
wow.
I love it.
What are these guys are doing? How do they relate to the? Are these the like personas that the company's trying to cater for, or are they just like
I think so.
random
I think the
men?
idea is the first one's the customer and the second one's usually the
like
employee.
okay, man,
Yeah.
wearing
But neither of them are. They're both stock photo actors.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wearing a cap inside an office is quite rare, so that kind of surprised me that that's the office guy. But yeah, fair enough.
So my first really corporate job, it started off being like shirt, dress pants, tie, not quite at ties, but like
No.
you could get away with a tie. And then this one guy started, and he started off wearing like little cheese cutter hats.
Mm,
Then casual Fridays, he switched to snapback caps.
nice.
Then those snapback caps showed up on Thursdays, Wednesdays, Tuesdays, Mondays. He'd got the full week. By the end of like a couple months, everyone was just wearing t-shirts and snapbacks, and like
Man,
he did it. He did it with power and confidence.
what a
and it was
genius.
amazing.
Yeah, this guy would do well in the film of Office Space, I feel. Like
Heck yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really impressive. My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. That rules. I love that like slow
Yeah.
progression. Man, maybe I'll try that at my job. Probably not. But I'll give it a go. Yeah, so another thing that happens here at the start is that he gets like a little electric shock from touching the door handle as he like the first like fuck you of his job. Other than the commute, obviously, but I just love that that's like a little detail here.
That is so the stuff I take personally. Like, if my swipe card at a job doesn't work, I'm like, you did this.
This is a place of crime.
Yeah.
How dare you do this to me? It's like a personal affront by the building
Yeah.
against you. That's amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't think I have been... I'm not subject to many electric shocks. And that I probably don't drive anywhere, but like I think that's why people get electric shocks. That's my theory.
Oh, yeah.
That you're like not grounded as you're driving, right? And then the first
Yeah.
metal that you touch, you get like zapped.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I never thought about that. That's amazing. Do you wear a
Yeah.
lot of fluffy sweaters?
Not commonly. I'm a
Yeah,
I'm
those
a,
also generate a lot of electricity.
I'm a big heavy jacket guy, so
You are.
yeah,
That's good.
that's my move. But
Yeah.
I'm not a sweater guy. Maybe I'll get into being a sweater man now that I have an office job. We are allowed to wear sweaters, so there you
Oh
go.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm breaking the rules by
Yeah.
wearing big jackets, so get dunked. It's so
You're
cold
gonna
though.
have in a couple months bigger and bigger jackets are gonna start showing up in the
Oh
office
yes,
because of you.
hell yeah! I want like a Talking Heads level of big jackets to start
Yes.
rolling in. Just everyone's wearing these
Yeah.
massive jackets in the office. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Um, it's just
A bunch
slowly.
of David Burns and like
Yeah.
70s era pimps, like huge fur coats.
Yes, that's the office culture that I want. Absolutely. Oh my
Oh yeah.
goodness. Yeah, no. I really want to own like 6 versions of the same jacket now so that I can do that. It just gets slowly like
Yeah.
looser and looser fitting so that I look like I'm shrinking.
Yeah.
Be great. That's a
Oh
sweet prank
yes.
for like just me.
I'm all about that. Like if you can do performance art in your office,
Yeah.
pranking, yeah, yourself, please do.
Pranking my wallet more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, my first sync here is the Pink Floyd at the end of Breathe sing "Race Towards an Early Grave" right as Peter sits down in his cubicle. So it's like, damn,
Oh, that's brutal.
oof.
I didn't even notice that one.
But yeah, he's like finally at work.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like a series of interactions with managers about his TPS reports, which we never find out what they are, but they're just like
No.
just generic reports. And yeah, they're just the escalation of multiple managers telling him the exact same thing and not listening when he says,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I just forgot. Like, it's not the thing that you're trying to say that it is. Like, it's fine. And also, it goes out tomorrow, so don't worry about it. And then, like, yeah, 3 different people talk to him about it. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. So accurate.
Yeah. But yeah, and that happens as we like go into On the Run. And then yeah, we meet Samir and Michael properly, who share a cubicle, and they're like
Yeah.
getting real angry about a paper jam on a printer. Have you ever experienced troubles with printers, Gareth, in your jobs?
I was inexplicably, I've been given, I think twice now, different jobs, I've been given the role of person who looks after the printer.
Yeah, same.
And it's savage. Like the ways printers can figure out how to get jammed is like,
Yeah, man.
if we could weaponize that, would be going to the moon and destroying it. Like it's amazing when you pull out a piece of paper after like your arm has been coated in ink and like
Oh,
turn into a tentacle trying to reach it.
yeah.
And it's like the tiniest scrap. It's amazing. We had a guy had to come in all the way across town, and because our printer was meaninglessly jammed, and he just had to flick one piece of paper,
Oh.
like the holder of a piece of paper over.
Oh no.
It was like on a 90-degree angle when it needed to be on a like 45, and then we could print again.
That's immensely frustrating. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So very relatable for you specifically. I love it.
Yeah. I know you've had printer troubles before.
Oh,
I've
totally.
seen you with this.
I-
with this movie and its gifs.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Over the course of my life, I've been the printer guy as well, and the person that people come to when the printer is jammed, and I'm like, oh, come on, guys, it's really not hard. Like,
Yeah.
learn the machine. But yeah, I've definitely been that guy. So yeah, this movie is one of my favorites. I think just because of that, like, just the relatability of the printer scene that we'll get to, like, it's a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get.
I will say, if you're young, everyone wants you to fix their IT issues.
Oh my god, yeah,
And if you're in any way seem arty, people will think you can fix their printer.
definitely, yes. That and like do like pull images out of thin air for free is another thing
Yeah.
that I get asked
Yeah.
for all the time. But yeah, oh man. But yeah, we also get the crash sound and the clocks going off in this sequence. They really don't sync with anything that I could spot. Your thoughts?
No.
Um,
So Samir does say it's early while the clocks are going off.
okay.
Which
That's pretty
I don't
good.
know. It's like the Pink Floyd are like, well, it's not that early. They're,
Yeah.
you're out of time.
Maybe he wasn't expecting it, all the clocks going
Yeah.
off, and he's just commenting on that. He's like, "Oh, that's early. All right, okay.
Yeah.
We've barely
But at
started the
this point,
film."
it's deep into the clocks,
Yeah.
so it feels like, yeah,
Okay. Well then, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, they go over to
Apologies.
Tchotchke's, which is like this kitschy, like hard rock cafe kind of place.
Yeah, like a TGI Fridays, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that equivalent, where you can get various foods and the people dressed the uniforms there are really kitschy and terrible. They've got to wear like striped shirts and suspenders covered in
Yeah,
badges. Which we'll later find out is a requirement, which is
yeah.
genius. Like the writing in this for that reason is so indicative of like the hypocrisy in this kind of service industry job, right? Like
Mm.
they want people to express themselves and therefore have written it into their contract that they have to express themselves, and if they with a like minimum level, it's
Yeah.
it's insane. Like it's very good. But yeah, they go get some food, and Michael talks about developing a virus that he will deploy if they don't start getting treated better at the office, which will come up later.
Yeah.
And Peter's obsessed with the Tchotchke's waitress here, played by Jennifer Aniston. Shout outs to you.
Yeah.
Great.
From the hit TV show,
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller.
That's right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I can't think of any other show she's been in, but
No. She was in
yeah,
that movie Where the Millers.
yeah. Doesn't she
With,
make?
with her dear friend. Her friend was in it. Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, one of her close
Yeah.
friends. Yeah,
Yeah, she's known for her friends.
I
But
think.
yeah, other than the Ferris Bueller, short-lived Ferris Bueller spin-off TV show,
Yeah,
can't really think of much she's been in.
no. She make like a cameo appearance in what is it? The movie with the show with Courtney Cox.
Oh,
Cougar
Cougar
Town.
Town.
Yeah, she makes.
Yeah, one of the biggest Courtney Cox TV shows.
Yeah, that's the
Cougar
one that I
Town.
know her from. And
Yeah.
they're pretty close friends, so it makes sense that they'd hang out
Mm.
on the show together. But yeah, anyway, here she is, and
Yeah.
it's she's great. And yeah, she's going to play a bigger role in the film. But Peter talks about going to a hypnotherapist because he hates his job. I think he's just like really dissatisfied, and he's going to go with his current girlfriend Anne, who doesn't really get a role in the film. She's just sort of this
No.
another nasty part of Peter's life in the background.
Yeah.
We see her once, and yeah, as they're going back, a guy Tom from the office runs over to tell them about a downsizing that's going to be happening at the company that he's really worried about. So he thinks that like everyone's going to be fired, especially him. He's really worried for his job. Later on, we find out what his job is, and I too would be worried. But you know,
Yeah.
yeah. They have a chat in the cubicle, and wants to become famous for like a real cheap invention. He like really respects the person who made the pet rock, which I find really funny. And he has an invention, the jump to conclusions mat. Gareth, we're the Shark Tank judges.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the jump to conclusions mat?
I mean, I love it. I think it's a great idea. I think I just don't in any way understand it.
Yeah.
The idea that it's different conclusions written on a mat and you jump to it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for the pun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Pun good, but execution bad. Much like this podcast, like name very good. Actual content.
Yeah, a little middling.
Yeah. Oh man. There's a big roast on myself. Damn.
Definitely the kind of thing you'll describe to someone, in the office,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, "Oh,
Oh, okay.
so why
What?
why does that work?"
But why?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely experienced that. It's a fun time.
Yeah, so this is the jump to conclusions mat of podcast.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. I'm happy.
Yeah.
It works out for Tom, so,
Heck yeah.
But but yeah, oh yeah, they're just having some more chats about like being very dissatisfied with their jobs, and then they talk about what they do with $1 million, which is like they say that that's what they were asked by like careers advisors when they were in high school,
Yeah.
college kind of times, and it's supposed to indicate what kind of job you should go to in the future. And Peter says that he never had an answer for that question. I think that's really interesting. I don't think my
Yeah.
careers advisor ever asked me that question, but yeah.
No, yeah. My career advisor, I think I didn't communicate what I wanted to do well enough,
Mm.
and I think they misunderstood and thought I wanted to be an architect. So I went to the open day of the architecture school, and
I
like
mean,
me being
yeah.
17 and having no idea what the hell is going on in life, I just was like, instead of speaking up and saying, no, no, I should go to the design school, I just went, and it was like the one that was 40 minutes out of
Oh
town,
my god.
and yeah, so strange.
Wow. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah,
Yeah, my careers advisor, I remember like I wanted to do something completely different to what I want to do now, but yeah, I was like it was very easy for me in that I had a really clear-cut answer for them about what I wanted to do, and because they have to talk to like 100 different people and honestly
yeah,
don't care what a like high schooler wants to do with their life, but that's their job.
yeah,
Like they're just like, "Oh, thank God, you know exactly what you want to do. Leave this office space and go be free, my child." That's what it
yeah.
felt like anyway. Um,
God, imagine going into like there would be so many kids these days going to the career advisors and just pitching their podcast
oh,
ideas.
definitely, yeah. I'm amazed
Oh,
that I didn't do that. Like,
yeah. There's this very new thing, podcasting,
yeah,
coming
I'm
out.
gonna get in on the ground floor. Okay, teach.
Yeah,
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'll show you.
yeah.
Yeah, I always
And by ground floor, I do mean in 2020.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
um, yeah, I always thought it would be interesting to tell a careers advisor that you wanted to become a careers advisor and to see what would happen.
yeah.
But yeah, I never had the
They just
courage.
get up out of their chair and you sit down and then you suddenly age and
Oh
become them.
no! It's like a vivarium situation where you just take over. Like,
Yeah.
oh god, that's awful. It's just
He's
that
like, I'm free.
I'm free. You like get sucked out of a genie's lamp and then you're attached into it. Like,
Yeah.
oh god.
They finally age backwards to being 16 again and they're like, oh, yes. I hope,
The curse is lifted.
yeah.
Oh
I hope
no.
Huey Lewis and the News are still popular.
Spoilers. They are.
Oh, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Love them. That Back to the Future intro still rips, all right? Listen.
Yeah.
But yeah, what happens now? Peter, yeah, he gets home and like hangs out with Lawrence, character played by Diedrich Bader, who has this like big
Yeah.
handlebar mustache and long hair. Yeah, just he's a man who is so sure of himself and understands life. He is treated as like a spiritual kind of guide for
Yeah.
Peter in this film, despite being like a kind of a loser. I love it. Like
Yeah.
he's great. He's just got his zone figured out, and they
Yeah.
talk to each other through the wall, which is something I've experienced as well. Very thin walls in places that you live when you're like trying to survive cheaply. That's very accurate, Man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, he's a guy who does like a bunch of like construction and odd jobs and things, and goes where he's needed and gets a lot of satisfaction out of doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter asks him if anyone would ask Lawrence if they had a bad case of the Mondays, and Lawrence is like, "No, man, hell no."
Yeah.
You can,
Treats it like it's the worst thing you could ever say,
yeah,
which I love.
he's incredibly insulted. He's like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck? Who would ask that?" It's so good. But yeah, definitely, case of the Mondays is such a '90s kind of feeling saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All that like corporate pseudo speak with like the kitten hanging in there,
Yeah.
same kind of realm. But yeah.
I get a lot of late lunch. Every time I'm snacking, I'm like, oh, late lunch.
Oh
Well,
man,
that's a late lunch.
that's ruthless. I guess you're not
Yeah.
supposed to like eat at your desk or whatever, but whatever, man.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nah, like that's fine. Do it. Just if you're
Mm.
hungry, have some food. Like we're people, guys. Come
That's
on,
pro advice.
chill
Yeah.
out. Like that's really weird to like be asking someone like, oh, late lunch. Like I
And they regret it immediately because then I'm like, oh, it's actually my third lunch of the day.
yeah.
And see,
I'm
earlier I'd had this, and I need to eat before, I go home. I don't want to be hungry on the bus.
no way.
And they're like, why am I stuck talking to this boy?
I'm living that hobbit life where I
Yeah.
eat every hour. Okay. And I've been tracking it. You can look in my book if you want, and then they're just like, oh god. Good deflect, I like it.
I'm doing the Samwise Gamgee diet.
Yeah. The Samwise diet. Oh
Yeah.
that's very good. Oh my god.
I eat every hour and obsess about my friend Frodo.
Yeah, I just hang out under his window in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
You know, like best friends do. Yeah, another thing I love about Lawrence here, going into like how he solved his own life, how like they're just cracking open some beers, and mid conversation, Lawrence like is getting offered a bottle opener by Peter, and he's like, "No need, I have my own." It's
Yeah.
like genius. I love it. Like that is very true. Carry your own bottle
Yeah.
opener. I do the same. It's
Yeah.
it's
Eat food
the
if you're
move.
hungry and carry your own bottle opener.
Yeah,
God,
man.
don't swallow your own bottle
No,
opener.
don't do that. Drink if you're
No.
thirsty is another hot tip.
Oh, man, we're learning everything
I
today.
know, right? Like, breathe in the air. That's another one. Yeah, there's so many
Very
sweet
good.
tips from this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he asked him the $1 million question, what would you do with $1 million? And he's dead serious about wanting to have sex with two chicks at the same time, which is the reference that I awkwardly made at the end of the last podcast.
It's such a perfect joke because instead of just ending the scene on two chicks at the same time, man, it's like they analyze it. They're like,
Yeah.
wait, you think you need $1 million for that? It's like, yeah, No, I mean, they're like, not every person loves money, but the kind of people who would have sex with him at the same time would probably love money.
Yeah, right? Like, he's got it figured out. Like, that's his
Yeah.
fully serious answer. And that, like, Peter laughs. He's like, oh, yeah. And then Lawrence is just, like, stone cold serious.
Yeah.
It's very good. Yeah. And, yeah, Peter says that if he had $1 million, he would just relax. He would do nothing, is what his answer is. That's what he really wants. He feels like his life is so chaotic and out of his control, and he's very dissatisfied with how things are going, that he would just sit and reprocess. And I've definitely been in that same position in my life. Like, I totally get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see one of the guys that are going to be doing the restructuring now. John C. McGinley is here as one of the Bobs. I love John C. McGinley, by the way. Great actor. Big fan of him from Scrubs and other places. Yeah.
I listened to, when we were going to do our Point Break episode, just so I could have something to listen to while doing the dishes, I listened to a podcast where he talked about how much he loves Bruce Springsteen.
Nice.
Very good. He's just like, he sounded a lot like Lawrence, to be honest.
Wow.
Like, just at peace with the world.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most people that are really into Bruce Springsteen are the, like, Lawrence archetype. Like,
Yeah.
that makes sense. They've got things figured out, but they are truly living the American dream. When Bruce Springsteen's your favorite artist, like, that makes a lot of sense to me, Yeah.
Yeah.
No shade on
I get
Bruce.
that. No, I love a bit of Bruce.
Yeah, man. Good times.
I have this beautiful memory of listening to the Bruce Springsteen greatest hits and walking around Sydney, Australia.
Oh, nice. That's a good sunshiny time. Very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can't even tell you why I was doing that.
Just enjoying
I was
life.
like, this is my chance to get into Bruce Springsteen, is I've got to do all this walking today.
Yeah, there you go. You're exploring Sydney, having a time, listening to some Brucey B.
Yeah.
On the pod. Get him on the pod.
And I believe, Bruce, you available? He's doing his own pod with Barack Obama, but What
Yeah.
about us?
I mean, he's in the pod game now. Like,
Yeah,
he
exactly.
knows what's up. We could get him on, I reckon. With
Yeah.
enough persistent phone calls, and if we Samwise it up outside his window, like,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, we could do that.
I mean, you know he's got opinions on Pink Floyd in some way.
Oh, definitely.
Probably met at least one of them.
Yeah, yes, probably at least one. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yes, John C. McGinley is here, and they're talking about the restructuring that's about to happen, and the soften the blow with a Hawaiian shirt day
Yeah.
is happening over the office, where you get to wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans in the office. What a great fun time for everyone.
Yeah.
But Milton is here. He's prattling on. I don't think we've talked about Milton yet, but he's this like
No. Oh my gosh.
yeah, he's this like he's a character like ripped straight out of Dilbert. I think like he's just this...
Yeah. Mike Judge had a cartoon about him.
Yeah.
Like initially, and then when he was putting together a table read, he asked Stephen Root to do the voice, just like as a placeholder, because I think Stephen Root's on King of the Hill as well.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, but then he just nailed it, and it's a very like un-Stephen Root kind of character, but I love him so much.
Yeah, he crushes this. He's
Yeah.
a very fun character. But yeah, like very oppressed in the office, but it's just too quiet and mumbly to get anything solved. But yeah, I really like the joke that he's just talking down the phone and obsessed about all the different problems that he has, and we pan over and he's just talking to Peter on the other end.
Yeah.
When they're like cubicles away from each other. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Peter's trying to like hide from Lumbergh, his nasty boss, who we also haven't talked about.
Holy cow, no.
Yeah.
The two like most iconic characters in this film.
From Office Space. We got too caught up in our tangents, I think, but
Yeah.
that's all right. Bill Lumbergh.
That can't be us.
Yeah. Who us? No.
No.
He drives a Porsche. He's like a middle manager guy who everyone hates, and he abuses the shit out of his power. That's his whole deal. And yeah, Peter hates his guts. He's trying to hide from him because he knows that Lumbergh's going to make him work on the weekend, which is exactly what happens. Peter's trying to like save all his work, and there's a agonizingly slow mid-90s computer trying to save it. We see the like progress bar slowly filling. It's very good.
Yeah, this is when Money by Pink Floyd starts on like a ka-ching that doesn't line up with something finishing because it's taking too long to load.
Yeah, sadly. No syncing here, but maybe it's when his last opportunity to escape from Lumbergh is that cha-ching.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, perhaps.
That's when Lumbergh's having the idea to make him work on the weekend, and he's saying the ka-ching of like the couple cents it'll save the company.
Exactly, yes. That's so accurate, damn.
Yeah.
Got him. But yeah, he rolls over and is like, yeah, I'm going to ask you to work Saturday and start at 8. And also come in on Sunday too, as an added fuck you. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, from here we go to the hypnotherapist, and he's Peter is outlining that every day he's had since working here has been worse than the one before it, which is so bleak. And even the hypnotherapist is like, that's messed up, man.
Yeah.
Like breaks his professional like standpoint just to say, damn.
Yeah.
Which is very good. And yeah, so he starts hypnotizing him to take away his anxiety about his job. It all melts away. And as he's hypnotizing him, the hypnotist starts having heart palpitations and eventually has a heart attack before he can wake Peter out of his trance, out of his hypnotic state. So the joke is that he just has no capability to be anxious or care about his job anymore.
Yeah.
Because his hypnotherapist died before breaking him out of his trance. The movie sort of abandons this after a little while, but like when it's sort of served its purpose as a joke. But
Yeah, that was my like one that I remember the first time I watched it because this was the idea that was the most exciting to me, and it still kind of is the idea that like
Yeah,
you're just in a trance of not caring. And classic like the '90s is this film's like imagine if you could care so little and like do like slack off so much and then achieve a huge amount from it.
yeah,
Like it's the '90s
it
dream.
is the
But
'90s
yeah, as you
dream.
said,
Um,
it kind of gets abandoned.
yeah, they give up on that plot line and they're like, actually, we've got this office situation. Let's do like Enron again. It'll
Yeah,
be funny. Yeah, so that we'll get there. But yeah, so Peter like now has uh no caring for his job in any way and just
mm.
is way happier. He's got a big old smile on his face. He sleeps in till 3:30 the following day and gets a whole bunch of messages
Yeah,
from Lumberg. I really like when he's listening to the messages and they all start off the same way with Lumberg going be like, oh yeah, hi, it's me. Like, and he just cycles through like 3 or 4 of those.
yeah.
It's very good. um, yeah.
There are apparently a couple extra scenes of Lumberg, and the actor Gary Cole asked them to be taken out because he wanted Lumberg to only reveal the same emotion throughout the whole film, which
That's
I love.
fantastic. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
he's always this like slimy not caring manager, you know. He's
yeah,
similar to how Peter is post hypnotism in a way and that he just like doesn't give a fuck about his job or any like employee under him, but he's in a position where that doesn't matter. Like
yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. But
Uh,
yeah.
the Lumberg, something else I really like about Lumberg, he has this underbite kind of thing that Gary Cole's doing on purpose,
Yeah.
like jutting his jaw out. If you drew that, you'd look exactly like a Mike Judge cartoon, like Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, nice. That's very
Like
good.
that's some like strong, like he must have been a fan or something to have chosen that, like made that
Yeah,
choice.
that's definitely a choice on the actor's part, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
And
Lumberg's.
Gary Cole
Oh,
these days, you'll find he's grown up and now
oh,
he's Gary Cole man.
oh.
I'm sorry.
Is he though?
Anyway,
Is that true?
I'm sorry, it's not. It was a comedy lie.
A comedy lie. Caught in a
Oh,
comedy lie. The
yeah.
Gareth Blacklist story. Oh no. Yeah, no. Lumberg's other like defining feature is that he drinks out of a massive coffee mug, much like I'm doing today.
Oh.
But yeah.
Oh no, and I've made you work on Saturday. I'm sorry.
Hey man, that's all right. It's all good. This isn't work. This podcast is play alone. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Bob and Bob here when Peter decides to make an appearance again. Also Anne dumps him over the phone, which I missed
Yeah.
that, but whatever. It doesn't matter. She's gone from the film. It doesn't matter to Peter, and it doesn't matter to us, the audience. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Bob and Bob are here. I love that they have the same name. It's very good. In fact, a lot of the names are just like very generically chosen, I think on purpose to make the office more like mundane. There's like Tom and Bob and Peter,
Yeah.
you know, all these like classic names. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, Peter, instead of going to work, immediately goes to Tchotchke's and asks out the waitress, Joanna, which is very good. She's like kind of taken aback that she thinks he's like joking, which is very good. And yeah, we get the start of the interviews. Tom is the first one up, who's the guy that we talked about before, who came over and
Yeah.
talked about the restructuring. He like desperately defends his job, where he effectively just like talks to one person, like talks to the customers, and then takes that information and tells other people what the customers say, and that's it. Like they fax him,
Yeah.
and he passes the fax from one place to another. That's his job. And he also has a secretary
Yeah.
who like does that part for him a lot of the time. It's great. It's very silly.
So accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, he's like he's like, you need to know how to talk to these people. Why don't you understand? And he's like yelling at people, you know? Oh, that's very good. Michael also has his interview. I presume that there were interviews for like all the key characters, and we only get to see a couple of them. But yeah, Michael has his interview now, and he has the I don't we didn't mention it when we introduced him, but he's Michael Bolton, full name. So he's constantly compared to the singer Michael Bolton, and he doesn't like Michael Bolton. He likes rap music.
Yeah.
So it's just this horrible thing that follows him in his life all the time, having a name that's just constantly, oh, it's, and yeah, he doesn't want to have to change his name because why should he? Like, it's his name.
Yeah.
I get that. Like, people often give me nicknames and stuff, but I go by James and James alone. I'm not like a Jamie or a Jimmy or any of that. So
Yeah.
if you call me that, I
Even
won't
like just
respond.
calling you by your last name
Yeah.
feels wrong, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about? Oh, sorry.
No, I sometimes go by Baron. That's okay. But like,
Okay.
but yeah, James is James. I'm not Jim. That's just
Yeah.
my choice, I guess. So
And you're furious at the officer in the US Navy who died in the 1800s,
yeah,
as well as the journalist, both the English footballers, the New Zealand cricketer, and the Scottish harbour designer.
yeah.
I've heard you talk about
Oh,
them.
constantly. I'm constantly being compared, especially to the like 1800s war veteran.
Yeah.
Like that guy.
It's because you're both so similar.
Yeah, it's just really frustrating. Me,
Yeah,
whenever I'm
both-
always caught in front of like paintings of that general, like as
Yeah.
well. Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah, you shouldn't have named your ship also the USS Essex and the USS President.
I know.
Honestly.
My ships are so much smaller than his.
Yeah.
They're just the ones that float around in my bath.
I don't know why everyone knows about them, but yeah.
I'm constantly talking about my fleet, Gareth, alright? I'm the Admiral. Anyway.
Baron, the other James Baron also killed a man in a duel. So
Oh, wow.
that's fun.
He's got that up on me as well.
Yeah.
Damn it. Now I need to get out there and challenge people to duels.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Have you seen the, wildly off topic, have you seen the, well actually no, back on topic,
Oh.
scary. God. Have you seen the Funny or Die videos where they essentially deep-faked the singer Michael Bolton into this role again?
Wow. That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Man. I've
Yeah,
not
so he's
seen
clearly
that.
like green screened or something, but he's having a great time insulting himself.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael, I could see Michael Bolton being down for that, honestly, and that, like,
Yeah.
he seems like a pretty down-to-earth singer. But yeah, I don't really know much about his music. I'm not a big Michael Bolton guy, but, you know.
No, neither. His Netflix special, just with The Lonely Island writing it, has some very good jokes.
Oh, nice.
It's worth a watch.
All right,
Yeah.
check that out.
It's a good, like, sick day watch or something like that.
All right. If I get real sick from my current office job, then I will do that. The flu shot's
Okay.
on its way, so I should be okay. Anyway, yes, we get into Us and Them, and Peter has his date with Joanna. He just, like, they go to lunch before he's even shown up for work. He's just, like,
Yeah.
hanging out with her, and she's talking about the pieces of flair that we kind of covered already that's required for her job. And she just grabbed some random buttons and doesn't really care about what they are because it's a requirement, you know? She doesn't.
Yeah.
If she really wanted to express herself, she'd do it in other ways, you know, which is totally fair.
Yeah.
We find out that Peter's job is updating software for the year 2000 Switch, which is, again, it's just like such an inefficient, pointless job. Like, I love that's his whole job, and he'll be out of a job as soon as 2000 happens. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like,
Oh, that's such a good point.
yeah. Yeah, the Y2K thing. I wonder if he was worried about that. Or if it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think this movie, because it's stuck around for so long, is probably one of the only remains of a world where we were worried about Y2K.
Yeah, man. There were like ads and stuff on TV with a little bug yelling at us, like, get some water in case all the computers die. Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird that people were
Yeah.
worried about that. But anyway.
Yeah. We've, like, it's wild the amount of fake apocalypses we've already lived through. Like,
Yeah.
really young chaps. So we had, like, Y2K,
Yeah,
2012.
Mayan calendar.
Yeah, this guy in 2011 predicted that the world was going to end
Yeah.
in like May, and then he updated it to 6 months later, so we had to worry about that.
I mean, if when he updates the apocalypse, like there's a like note at the top of his website saying, actually, it's going to be 6 months after I said,
Yeah,
like, oh, whoopsie, forgot to carry the one. Like that's
yeah,
yeah. Then I'm gonna stop believing you, mate. Sorry, I'm
yeah.
out. That's when I'm out. I'm taking my tinfoil hat right off and walking out the door. I do like that Jennifer Aniston says, oh, well, Joanna, sorry. They bond over.
Well, Jennifer Aniston does say
She
the
does.
lines.
It's true.
The words do come out of Jennifer Aniston's human mouth.
It's true.
Anyway.
I love it when that happens, and she says that she loves kung fu. They bond over their love of the film Kung Fu. Great stuff.
Yeah.
And
the shock in her face, like no one's ever asked her if she loves kung fu before.
yeah, I guess so.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, Milton gets his office moved. It's just like continued depression for poor Milton, and he also gets his beloved stapler taken away by Lumberg here. So nasty. Milton like says under his breath that he could set the whole building on fire as like a muttered threat. It's very good. Yeah, Peter finally decides to rock up to work, and Michael's like, "Fuck, you're gonna get like, where have you been? You're gonna get fired." And Peter's like, "I don't care, man. It's all good. I've been enjoying life." And then finds out that he has his like performance review with the Bobs, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll go do that." And Michael's like, "No, you'll get fired. You have to delay it, man." Like. And he's like, "No, I'm feeling real good about this." It's like big Harry Potter on the luck juice energy.
It so is, yeah.
Yeah, just like enduring positivity. It's great. Yeah, so like...
My favourite part of Harry Potter on the luck juice is Daniel Radcliffe walking past that extra and going, "Hi!"
Yeah, it's very good.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's been hypnotized. Yeah, it's a great, probably the best sequence in that movie. I think is the sequence where he just has the power of mega luck. It's great. Oh man. Anyway, we're not talking about that movie. We're talking about this movie. He goes in for his performance review and like talks about how dissatisfied with his job he is. He says he does about 15 minutes of real work every day, which is bleak as hell. But he's got like no job satisfaction, and like talks with them for a really long time. And we find out that he like gets really on side with these two Bobs somehow. Like they are like, "Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like it's really inefficient how your job is being run, and like you seem like an upstanding young guy. You should be promoted." It's very good.
Again, the 90s dream.
Yeah. But yeah, he like says that he has 8 different bosses, and the Bobs are like, "What?" Because they're here to like get rid of inefficiency in the company, and that's exactly what they're looking for. So yeah, it's very good. They're like big fans of him. And as he's leaving, Lumberg tries to confront Peter, and he just like navigates around him, just like walks around. It's very funny. There's a bit where Joanna gets like told off for doing the bare minimum at her job, for not wearing like heaps of flair like her insane co-worker. This like, he's like a demon man who just he's like so super positive. He's like what people want the customer service industry to be like, right? He's the archetypal person for that, where he's just like constantly over the top and happy and mega outgoing, and he's covered in buttons. Like that's what they want apparently. But yeah, people aren't like that. So
no.
She's
very strangely, I'd find, there's a scene. So he interrupts our heroes at the very beginning and like super cheerily, like, "You want some coffee?" Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Hit television show Breaking Bad does the same scene in its final season.
Whoa.
Essentially, a very happy man at a family restaurant interrupts them and like checks in on them.
Man, maybe that's a call out. to Office Space.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple other things like we're gonna see later. There's a scene that clearly inspired Breaking Bad where we see underneath a table, but they've made it glass in a cool montage,
Oh
which is like
yeah,
one of Breaking Bad's favorite tricks.
yeah. The like
So yeah, I'm calling
sneaky
Breaking Bad Office Space spin-off.
Office Space 2, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, exactly. Just a different man.
There you go. It's the direct sequel. Same universe for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Same universe.
Yeah, there's we get the roundup with the managers with the Bobs, talking about all the different people. After the performance reviews, they very callously talk about Milton. Milton hasn't been employed by the company for 5 years, and no one told him, and through a glitch in the system, he's still been receiving paychecks. So it's like he's still employed, but so instead of telling him that he's fired, they fixed the glitch in the system. So he's just going to stop getting paid, and
Yeah.
eventually Milton will either become destitute or leave the company. Like, they say that it'll work itself out naturally, which is awful.
Yeah. That's brutal.
It's so nasty. I'm pretty sure that stuff like this doesn't happen, but holy shit, that's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get to talking about Peter, and they say that like he's got upper management written all over him. They love him. He's a great guy. And Lumberg is like brings up the TPS reports, and like John C. McGinley has to be like held back because he's so angry. It's so good. And yeah, as we get into Eclipse at the end of the album, it's sort of been flipped on Lumberg here, and that they're analyzing him now because he's one of one of Peter's inefficient bosses. So now he's under the thumb. It's good.
Yeah.
And yeah, as over Eclipse and the between playthroughs of the album, we get a montage of like Peter just enjoying his life. Now that he doesn't care about his job, he's like steals Lumberg's parking spot. He watches Kung Fu with Joanna. They go fishing with Lawrence. There's a really gross bit where he brings a fish into work and guts it.
Yeah, I didn't love that.
It's pretty gross. I'm pretty sure they did this for real, and it was like incredibly smelly. Yeah,
most definitely.
No good. Yeah, he throws the like fish guts on the TPS reports. It's like a fuck you.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Yeah, and he knocks his cubicle wall down so that he can see the view at the window as well, which is like, again, this is all like dream office stuff. Lumberg.
That's wild. The amount of offices where people just can't see outside.
Yeah,
like see a window at all. That should be illegal.
Yeah.
Or you should get paid like way more because you can't see a window or something.
Yeah, if you're just trapped in the little cave.
Yeah.
They really exemplified that with Milton in this film.
Yeah.
And that they eventually sent him down to the basement, literally, and he's got to like sort out a cockroach problem. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ruthless. Very true. Yeah, he's just like playing Tetris at his desk instead of doing any work, which is great. Again, shout outs to the 90s. And yeah, at the start of playthrough 2, Lumberg like comes over to him, but Peter's like, I don't care, man. I've got to go talk to Bob and Bob again. And so Lumberg's like can't deal with that, and so takes his frustration out on Milton by moving him to the basement. Basically, he vents that frustration onto somebody else because he's a bad manager.
Yeah,
it's messed up. The Bob and Bob tell Peter that Samir and Michael are going to get fired, and that he's going to get a promotion where he has 4 people working under him, which is just like hypocrisy incarnate, and that those were guys like work really hard, and Peter's literally been doing nothing for weeks. Like, it's great. Oh man.
Yeah, and this is kind of the moment, like we said, where he snaps out of his daze.
Yeah, this is the point, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, actually, my friends are going to get messed up. This is the point where the hypnotism bit ends, for sure, yeah.
I just wish it had been a little more clear, like maybe there'd been like a lighting change or some sort of abstract way that's like, oh, this guy's out of his trance.
Yeah, if we had like a super fast like flashback to the hypnotism scene, and then we like pull out of Peter's eye or something, and he like shakes his head like he's like suddenly back to normal, that would be good.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's a free one.
Yeah.
It would knock off, like, it would add some stuff to the film and change all our syncs, but I'm willing.
Yeah, so don't do that.
Yeah.
For us.
No, just for us. Please don't add that in.
Yeah.
The director's cut of Office Space. The James.
No one's allowed to change any movie.
Yeah. The James director's cut, where I suddenly become director.
You do one day of work, and then you're like, well, director's cut.
Yeah, man. I'm just so method with Office Space that I just do literally nothing except change one scene, and then pretend like I've done a huge amount of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Makes sense. And they're like, he's a genius.
You tell someone who tells another person, it goes down 7 different people until the editor adds in your scene. Yeah. And it's the Office Space.
There you go.
Meta edit.
Meanwhile, I'm out fishing, you know?
Yeah,
with my friend GB. out on one of my boats.
I'm like secretly not fishing because I don't eat fish, you know? Well, like, oh, another one got out.
They keep falling off my rod. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I just keep accidentally just feeding them. I forgot to put a hook on.
Secret of fishing is that it's super not about catching fish, by the way.
Yeah.
It's about everything else, like hanging out on a cool boat with your friends. That's what fishing's really about.
Yeah.
If
someone does catch a fish, it ruins it.
Kinda, yeah. I feel like most fishing trips that I've been on, I really enjoy every other part of the fishing trip.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah. Let's go on a fishing trip together where we don't catch fish at all. We just hang out on the boat, you know? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so Peter hangs out with Michael and then tells him about his impending firing, and they just like do like the cut of them hanging out at Peter's apartment, and then cut to the bar after the news where they're just like heavily drinking because Michael's really upset. It's very good. And then they convince Michael to actually put his virus plan into play. He makes the virus that will bring Inotech down from within, or like basically profit off of Inotech. It's I'll explain it in a little bit, but yeah. They get Samir involved as well as the crash sound rolls in on the run. So yeah, the scheme is in session. But yeah, the clocks go off basically over nothing again. So that's 2 for 2 really, where we've had like not much happen with that. So that's a bad sign. Yeah, everyone swears to secrecy about this plan to steal some money. Even Lawrence through the wall, which I find funny. And yeah, there's we get this little montage, the Breaking Bad moment here, where it's like full on like a heist is underway, but they're just like writing stuff to a floppy disk and then passing it around different computers, and it's like really easy and no one notices what they're doing, even though they're acting like super shifty. It's very funny. Yeah, we also...
It's great as well, because this is on the run, so we're getting some, like, hacking to some on the run. Or, actually, sorry, the talking about it's still on the run.
Yeah. But the actual...
It just made me excited, because it's very on the run, and it made me think of Cypher from Breaking Bad.
Yes.
I mean, no. Cypher from Fast and Furious.
Oh, man, if Cypher was in
combine
Breaking
those
Bad...
two.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
The hacking
Cypher was in Breaking Bad. All the cars.
Yeah. Cars just become increasingly unreliable as Breaking Bad goes on, because they're just all being hacked by Cypher. Oh no.
This famous RV is just like being driven around by Cypher in her plane.
It's making its own drugs.
Oh.
And it's rivaling.
That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, your car is making drugs and you go to jail.
Yeah, it's like the Herbie of drug dealers.
Yeah.
It's no good.
Now that's fully loaded.
Herbie fully loaded to meth.
Yeah.
Damn. Man, that's
even more fully loaded.
I wasn't expecting Herbie's heel turn to come out of this podcast,
No.
but I'm here for it. So, you know, that's great.
I mean, we knew he liked weed because his name's Herbie, but we never thought he was going to go
Hey,
that far.
it's a gateway.
Yeah.
Gateway drug to a sequel. Oh no.
Methy.
Methy is a very bad name for a car. Or basically
Yeah, if your
anything.
car was like possessed by a, I guess, cipher making it make its own weed, making its own meth, and your car was called Methy, you've got only yourself to blame.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, it was meant to be if it's called Methy, but yeah, it's not a good situation that you found yourself in. In the film, we're back. We get Tom's story of how it ends up for him. It's very depressing. He like tries to kill himself basically because he's been fired, and then decides he wants to live. Sees his wife and is like, oh, it's actually not that bad. Backs out of his driveway to go to work and for the final day and gets hit by a truck.
Yeah.
And because he's contracted still, he gets this insane settlement and severance package from the job. So he's very rich, and he gets to make his own jump to conclusions mat that we'll find out about. Yeah. This is the final day at Initech, I think. No, it can't be the final day at Initech for Michael and Samir. Maybe it is. But as their last thing, as a present to them, Peter steals the printer, and we have the famous scene from Office Space where they beat the shit out of this printer, which is incredibly satisfying and also just a sweet set piece in a movie. Yeah. I think is this one over Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster? I can't remember the song that's playing, but it's a sweet...
I can't remember either. Damn It Feels Good to a Gangster is during the to be a gangster is during the montage of him not caring, I think.
Right, okay.
Yeah. What we're hearing is Time by Pink Floyd, and I wish it had been Great Gig in the Sky.
Oh, it would have been amazing, but no, sadly not. It's a Ghetto Boys song. That's what I remember, maybe. Anyway, so it's very satisfying them beating the crap out of this printer. Michael starts punching it with his hand and has to be dragged away like it's like a fist fight. It's very funny. And then they're just hanging out and grooving in Peter's lounge, having a dance, a boogie. Love it.
Kind of pretty stoked to see some breakdancing to Pink Floyd.
Yeah, that's sweet. We've not had that much since Magic Mike days, really. But
no, not really.
Yeah, we'll take what we can get when it comes to people grooving. Maybe we should do flash dance or something next. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Or okay.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Let's just say some seeds have been planted.
Okay. So Peter mansplains the scheme that they've put in place with Initech to Joanna, and it sucks. They get into this weird argument where he doesn't think it's stealing when it clearly is. Basically, I'm going to mansplain it to you, the audience, right now.
Oh, please do.
So effectively, every time a transaction happens in their company, they're going to there's some amount of cents that get rounded off at the end of the product, and they're taking those cents and putting them into an account. So it's going to build up over time because there are millions and millions of transactions that take place as part of this company. So they're effectively stealing all this money that gets rounded off anyway, but it all adds up and goes into this account. And they ideally won't notice. This is straight up fraud and happens a lot. So don't do this because you will go to jail. It's very real. But yeah.
It is. And it's been in a lot of movies. They mentioned Superman 3.
Yeah.
And the fact it did actually happen. Apparently it's also in I Love You, Philip Morris.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happened. It happens in real life too. It's one of the most common fraud things, fraud schemes that people try and get away with, but it gets caught. You're stealing money. It's gonna get caught by accountants, guys. That's their whole job to look at the accounts.
Accountants know stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Man, you think oh,
you think you're looking at money.
Yeah. The whole point of being an accountant is to see where all the money has gone and account for all of it. That's what being an accountant is. I don't know. It seems
Yeah.
silly to try and like trick people that way, but yeah, people still do it. But yeah, he's like explaining this to Joanna, and she's like, "How is that not stealing?" And they're like, "We'll talk about this later because we've got a party to go to." Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they rock up to Tom's barbecue, and he's in this like full body cast and a wheelchair. And the guest of honor is his lawyer who got him the huge settlement payout, which is
Oh,
very
I missed
funny.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, they have it like Michael and Samir talk to the lawyer about prison and what that's actually like, and how
Yeah.
it's very bad. And yeah, meanwhile, Tom is showing off his jump to conclusions mat that he's made. It's very funny.
Oh yeah.
All the
Gosh,
squares.
that's like when you play your friend your podcast in the car.
Yeah, it totally is.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, that's a roast on us. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they talk with the lawyer, and Gross Drew, who told us the story earlier about Tom's situation, he like got everyone invited to this party. Basically, is here,
Yeah.
and he's talking about Joanna, and he reveals that Lumberg fucked her, because that's what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that like strikes a chord with Peter. He's like, "What? My horrible boss." Lumberg had sex with Joanna, my girlfriend. Oh no.
Before I met her.
Yeah. Apparently that's like the worst possible crime to Peter, and he can't get over it. On the car ride home, they have this huge argument, and he just says his whole argument is like, "You had sex with Lumberg." And like she's like, "Yeah, I did." What of it? It's like it doesn't matter to our relationship, and he's like, "I hate that guy." It's like he can't get over it, and Joanna's like, "Fuck you, I'm done."
Yeah.
Fair enough. It's a real
Yeah.
weird thing to obsess over, like people's past relationships.
This is like the grossest part of the movie, I think. Like it's
hard
it
agree.
sucks.
It's
But like I love that Joanna owns it, and she's like, "No, my life is my life." Like,
yeah. The movie
yeah, you
also
don't
kind
own
of
me.
only half apologizes for this later on,
yes, that's the issue.
which I really don't like, but we'll get there. We get
Yeah.
like a nightmare from Peter's perspective of like just the like gross guy saying Lumberg fucked her over and over again. And then we see Lumberg like having sex with someone off camera, but he's still got his like mug and like office glasses on, which is very funny, but you know.
He even turns and talks to Peter.
Yeah. It's good. The nightmare sequences in this are very cartoony and fun, but yeah. Joanna, very frustrated, gets like reprimanded by her boss again for not wearing more flair, and she like quits. She flips the bird to her manager and everyone in the restaurant. She's like, "I'm expressing myself, motherfucker." Like, it's very good. And yeah, Peter goes and checks the account balance the next morning, and instead of being like a couple of $1,000s like they expected, it's 300 grand in the account, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
What went wrong? And they're all freaking out about this in the car. Michael thinks that he's put the decimal point in the wrong place, but I'm pretty sure that he hasn't, and this is just another commentary on like the inefficiency of Initech, and that they probably do have a huge amount of money that is going through the place, but no one sees any of it. And I think that's the like commentary that they're trying to go for here.
That's good. Yeah.
Michael like blames himself. He thinks he's fucked up, but yeah, I think it's his thing worked perfectly, and this is just the huge amount of money that the company makes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It'd be very interesting, like, if they added that they had accidentally just stolen it from someone else's embezzling scheme or something. Like, someone else was already running that hack and they just took it.
that would have been sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, like, they don't go to jail because everyone else involved would have to go to jail too.
Has also been doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
A
great.
judge is just like, it's alright.
It's all right. You guys are pretty small fry in comparison to what the managers were doing. Like,
I'm not going to bang my gavel this many times in one day. You guys get out of here.
I'm gonna get wrist strain. RSI.
Yeah.
Oh,
Aw.
my gavel arm is so weak. Yeah, it's we cut back to the office, and it's Lumberg's birthday. There's a more poor Milton here who doesn't get his piece of cake, everyone just singing Happy Birthday as well, or like the part of Happy Birthday that they can sing in a film. Um, it just like,
Oh, it's legal now. They realized that the
oh really?
Mildred and Patty Hill never actually had the rights to it,
Oh shit!
as like for as long as they should have.
Oh man, so you can sing Happy
Yeah,
Birthday in a film now.
yeah, as of 2015.
Can we do it on the podcast?
Should we take it away, James?
No, I'm not gonna sing it right now. Uh,
I know when you're going to sing it.
it's just like a free amount of power that we now
Yeah.
have, though. Like that feels really good. Oh my gosh. I'm happy that I'm not going to get copyright striked for singing Happy Birthday accidentally.
Yeah.
You know? Oh man. But yeah, it's them handing out the cake and Milton not getting any. This weirdly works for me as a sync over money at the moment here. We're getting like money's like solo rolling in, and we're just like it's like a slow zoom on Milton as he's passing this cake around, and it really I don't know, it just works. I don't know why.
Yeah, oh no, I'm for it.
Yeah,
it's interesting that we didn't mention that like the previous scene is them dealing with too much money.
That's very true.
But yeah, no, this syncs too with it.
That's a real sync. But yeah, this was just like a feeling that I had. I was like, oh yeah, this could be scoring. You know, when you get a sync where it's just like this could be the real score of the film. Yeah. That's how I felt. I don't know.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So they don't know what to do, and they're in very deep shit. They're like discussing stuff, and it turns out they're like it turns out that Joanna didn't sleep with the Lumberg that's Peter's boss. It was a different guy called Lumberg who moved.
Yeah,
which is like it shouldn't matter, guys. Like,
yeah,
it's a weird thing to obsess about.
Yeah, it would have been better if he'd just forgiven it, or like not forgiven it, but like let it go.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It's weird that like it's like it doesn't matter, but yeah, it's this weird thing that it's like, oh, it wasn't even the right Lumberg, is like how he apologizes later on, and it's like, fuck, dude, like you still clearly care about it. Like if it had been that Lumberg, maybe you wouldn't be apologizing. Like you still really haven't learned the lesson, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, it's bad.
But man, I want to know more about the stuff of Lumberg. What's he about?
He's left the company and gone to a different part of America a month ago. So shout outs to other Lumberg.
Yeah.
Maybe he was driven out by the current Lumberg for sharing the same name.
Too many Lumbergs.
It's a real Michael Bolton, James Barron situation.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, there's another weird bit here where there's a door-to-door salesman which they try and get to launder money for them because he says that he was a crack addict as part of his like magazine salesman thing. It's like this whole sequence feels very like racial profile-y as well, and it's no good. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love the actor though, Orlando Jones.
Yeah,
and, like he based that role on his own niece, who apparently was so like did not care when she was trying to sell magazines. Like did the same like steering into space. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good delivery for sure. Like,
yeah, he's making the best out of this kind of
tiny role in the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, the joke that he is actually an unemployed software engineer is very good. I think that's quite funny. He's like in the exact same situation as these guys.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then he blackmails them into buying 40 subscriptions to Vibe magazine.
Which is great, yeah. Well, I mean, they have the money, right? Like,
that's true,
presumably a small amount of it has now gone into these subscriptions. So yeah, it works out for this guy. But yeah, everyone's like very upset with Peter, and they all like walk out of the house like upset that they're going to go to prison. And yeah, even Lawrence wants nothing to do to him. He says that he's not going to come round through the wall, which is very fun. He has another nightmare where the Samir and Michael get sentenced to prison, and the judge, his sentencing of Peter is just that he's led a trite and meaningless life, and that he's a very bad person, and that's his like sentence.
Yeah,
which I think it's good like nightmare logic, which is cool.
Yeah. I reckon the judge is only saying that because his gavel arm is too tired. But
Definitely. Yeah. I only want to bang that gavel once, guys. Come on. I'll
yeah.
sentence all three of you right now for different things. And yeah. Uh, Peter goes and apologizes to Joanna. It's, again, as we said, not a great apology, but whatever. She says that delivers sort of the lesson of the film, and that she says that most people don't like their jobs, but they go out there and try and find something that makes them happy. You know,
Mm.
yeah, we've covered that again at the start. Uh, yeah, we get into Any Color You Like as uh, Peter is like gone and delivering. He's trying to deliver the money back under Lumberg's door in the form of like banknotes, I guess. Um,
Yeah, I think it's an
bonds.
explanation. Like I did this.
Yeah, and yeah, a letter
Yeah.
explaining what happened, and he's ready to face the music. He puts it under the door, and then immediately like tries and gets it back, like regrets it
Yeah.
because he's a shell of a person. And yeah, he tries to like grab it from under the door but can't, and so it's like, all right. The next morning, Milton is like gone to Lumberg to complain about his situation. He's been sent to the
Mm.
basement, and all this horrible stuff has happened to him. And he's like gets sent away by the secretary who like runs away, and then
Yeah.
he like just was like, well, if I can't speak to him, I'm at least gonna get my stapler back, and like goes into
Mm.
Lumberg's office and steps on top of the money there, and yeah, we cut away from him. Um, Peter the next morning like says goodbye to Lawrence. He's like, I guess I'm going away for a while. See ya, man. And then yeah, rolls up to the office to face the music, and the building is on fire. Milton
Yeah.
has followed through on his threats and has burned the office down. Um, and yeah, we see him like trying to sneak away. As we're in brain damage, and we get the lunatic is on the grass as
Right.
he is the lunatic sneaking away all over the
Because
grass.
the idea was, I think, a lot of people assumed maybe the lunatic is on the grass was a reference to the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah.
And the way they shoot this, where a lone man in a crowd like sneaks away while a
Mm.
camera like pulls out, is very like 1960s Kennedy kind of
Very
thing.
similar energy for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's dead on. Nice. So that's a sweet sync. That's a good one. That's a
yeah.
good one for the boys in Sing Floyd. Um,
We'll let them know.
yeah, call us up. Send us a letter and $300,000 in bail bonds, please.
Please,
Please.
please.
Yeah, we get like sweet shots of office interiors and cubicles on fire and stuff, and that's
Yeah.
satisfying. It's good stuff.
We see it. What's her name? An Agatha comic, or the
Oh yeah,
Dilbert-esque character who goes like "ack." Her comic strip is on fire, which I thought very officey.
yeah. All these like references to like I guess fellow comic artists and cartoons of about offices. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty nice. I'm
all
kind of
burning
surprised there
away.
isn't a Dilbert reference. Maybe it's like out of step in time or something. Maybe Dilbert came after this film. I don't think that's right, but
No, I looked it up. So I was Dilbert. It came before
yeah,
this, and then The Office, obviously Ricky Gervais, followed
yeah,
by Greg Daniels and Mike Schur
that was
with the
later.
American one. That came way later,
Yeah, yeah.
and this kind of movie, both thematically and like in terms of time, is like right in the middle of like
Hmm.
people hating on officers.
Yeah, yeah. They're all
Yeah,
kind of similar, doing the same kind of thing for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
I think I've told you this before, but like Dilbert Comics, as of like May 2020, maybe even earlier, April, they're the exact same comics set in an office, but the guy drew little masks on everyone for the
That's
pandemic.
yeah. You did tell me that. That's wild. Like
It's so wild.
that's the only difference. Like I think
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool in that it's like promoting like good office culture during a pandemic, I guess, and that like you should wear a
Yeah.
mask. But
But they're still in the office. They didn't
yeah,
adjust the jokes to be about
like just everyone's stuck at
like
home.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. It's a weird little detail to be like added to a comic for sure, where it didn't need
Yeah.
to be. Like I don't think it's yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that message means from the Dilbert comic creator. I don't know what you're trying to tell me
Yeah.
really with that.
Especially the like Dilbert guy being quite Trumpy and everything as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
well, we won't get into it.
No.
Yeah, we cut to the future now, to see where everyone has ended up after this fire. We've got Peter is out cleaning up after the fire. He's like doing a physical labor job with Lawrence at his side. They're co-workers now, just cleaning up after the fire. And yeah, he's like much happier, like doing a physical job outside, hanging
Yeah,
out with
getting
his buddy
exercise.
Lawrence, like
Yeah.
than he was in an office. So it's a good outcome for him. Um,
Oh yeah.
the other two, Samir and Michael, are now working for a completely interchangeable company. Um, they're working for Innertrode, which is
Yeah.
like basically the exact same job where they were before, but they're happy there where they like didn't get found out for fraud.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they offer a job to Peter, and he's like, "Nah, I'm good, guys. Yeah, go have fun. I'll see you later." We also find out that he's still having a good relationship with Joanna, and
Mm.
yeah, they're having a chat with Lawrence, and he says "fucking a." Lawrence's catchphrase, "fucking a," which is something I
So
say
good.
all the time. I think because of the film, but
Yeah, there's a real beautiful delivery of like fucking A, man.
yeah,
Which is so fun to say when someone like actually like says something deep and you have no smart answer.
fucking a, yeah.
Fucking A, man.
There you go. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, add it to your
Yeah.
vernacular. That's another lesson.
Yeah.
But yeah, final shot of the film, we cut to the Bahamas or a luxury resort somewhere on a desert island, and Milton
Mm.
is out here enjoying a Mai Tai because before he burned down the building, he stole all the money. He picked up the envelope that we saw,
Yeah.
and so yeah, he's out here enjoying life. But still,
Well, he's not enjoying it in the slightest.
No,
he's complaining.
he's still complaining. He's still doing his mumbly thing where everyone just ignores him being insufferable and like having a terrible
Yeah.
time. And yeah, he's like threatens to like buy the hotel and bowl it down. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He's going to add like cyanide to the guacamole at one point. It's
yeah,
very, very fun. We haven't really said it. Very fun having subtitles on for this movie.
yeah.
Because Milton is saying a lot of lines, and when you can read them, it's really good.
Yeah, a lot of funny stuff, but we just usually would be glossing over it as movie watchers because
Yeah.
it's mostly inaudible. So yeah, pretty sweet that we get to enjoy it. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We get into the credits over Eclipse.
Yeah, very nice.
So yeah, a tidy 2 playthrough movie.
Oh, you gotta love it.
Yeah, what did you think? How did it sync?
What did I think and how did it sync? My main reference was in the way this synced, and it might have been because they're both, completely relatable everyday men dealing with the corporate realities of America.
Mm.
A lot of The Room in this.
Oh yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, you chuck a Pink Floyd on these films and they become very similar.
Yeah, this is the film that we would see if we saw what his job was like, what Tommy
Yeah.
in the Room's job was like, But it's just Tommy injected into that office environment where he just doesn't care as a character. He's been hypnotized.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That actually makes a lot of
What
sense.
we should do, yeah, let's remake it. It's Michael Bolton, the singer, deep faked as Michael Bolton,
Yeah.
the character.
Tommy Wiseau as
Tommy
Peter.
Wiseau, yeah. Gary Coleman
Okay.
as Lumberg instead of Gary Cole.
All right.
John C. McGinley can play both Bobs.
Yes, 2 John C. McGinleys side by side.
Yeah. We'll probably still get Jennifer Aniston back because I don't think she's got like any real like sitcom money or
No,
something. She
she's
probably needs it.
Probably struggling for
Yeah.
money, so we could probably get her.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, pretty
We
good.
booked it in. There you go. Cast.
But that doesn't solve our pressing situation.
No, it doesn't. It
Well, how
solves,
does this sync?
solves some situation, but not the one that we need right now.
Nah. I reckon a 6, and we slide it just slightly higher on the 6s than we gave The Room.
Sweet. That makes sense to me,
Cool.
man. Yeah, 6. Fucking A.
Fucking A. Oh!
Yeah, lock it in.
Lock it
That's a
in.
6 on the graph. What are we doing next week? Gareth.
Well, as we took these two, we took this like seed of Pink Floyd and we planted it into Office Space and we watched it grow into this beautiful tree.
The seeds.
And a strange new branch did emerge from this tree, and I want to take a clipping of that and I want to nurture that branch. And that is, of course, Pink Floyd over breakdancing. So there's no option but for us to watch Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Whoa!
1984.
All right. I've never heard of this, but I'm very excited.
What? Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
All
A
right.
man dances in a corner on the ceiling.
Oh, hell yeah. Dancing on the
Or
ceiling?
something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Lionel Richie?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited.
Oh, wow.
I'm excited.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So we'll see you then for that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
Any other
And
summing
yeah.
up that we have to do? Any plugs?
No. I think Comedy Fest is well underway as you're hearing this.
Hell yeah.
So if you're in Auckland, Wellington, and I think the rest of New Zealand, go see as much as you can because it's wild that we can do that.
Go see some live comedy. It's like one of the few places in the world where you can.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sweet.
And like even if you're not in those main towns in New Zealand, like there's loads of cool comedians out there. Like a crazy amount of the best comedians at the comedy gala that I went to last night all mentioned they were from Christchurch, or I knew they were from Christchurch.
Yo.
Like small towns breed them funny.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, get amongst.
Get amongst. Fucking A.
And if you want to get amongst learning more about Sync Floyd, you can follow us at Sync Floyd Pod on Twitter, Sync Floyd on Letterboxd, and email syncfloydpod@gmail.com. No one's done that one yet, but you know.
I want to get an email. Send us an email.
Yeah, I'd love an email.
Yeah, man. Want it.
Someone once emailed my improv group during our show because I mentioned we had an email address, and it was just a photo of us on stage.
That's great.
So funny.
I love that. That's some
Yeah.
quality improv from the audience.
Yeah.
That's a yes and. I love it.
It was literally, the subject line was, yeah, okay.
Email us. And they're like, yeah. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Hell yeah. That's great stuff.
So you go type those emails and CC your 8 bosses. And until then, I've been Gareth Blackwell.
I've been James Barron.
And we'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
Happy birthday. No, I'm not going to do it. See ya. I'm not going to do it. I can't run the risk. Goodbye.